Hello there. Welcome to Jedi and the Mailman, the show where two old friends aim to deliver the best Star Wars talk in the galaxy. I'm Mike the Mailman. That's Jimmy the Jedi. How we doing, Jimmy?
It's cold, man. It's cold.
It's cold here too. I had plowed snow twice today.
It snowed that much?
Yeah. Well, my wife had to go to work early, and okay. So I got up at 3:30 in the morning because the dog is stupid and wanted to go out at 3:30 in the morning. And we knew there was snow coming. And I look out and I'm like, oh, there's not a single snowflake. I'm like, maybe the forecast is wrong. Maybe we'll get by without. But then my wife gets up at, 5:45 in the morning. And I ask her, how bad is it? She's really bad. So we got, I don't know, probably 4-5 inches, something like that. So I had to go out and plow so she could get out. We have a really long driveway. And then I came back in, kind of went back to bed, and I had to take my son to work at 10. By that time, just as much more snow was on the ground, so I had to plow again. But I got this nice new tractor, and it's fantastic.
You sound like my dad.
I love it. It's even yellow and black.
Oh, man.
Pittsburgh colors.
That's too bad.
The Penguins still sport the yellow and black, and they wear it well.
That's true. We got some people we had people waiting for us today. People are excited about the topic. Jedi Jarvo is excited.
Hey.
Hello there. Happy Skeleton Crew Day. It is Happy Skeleton Crew Day. First year anniversary. Yes.
Yeah, I miss it too.
Jedi watched the two first episodes today. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that and some Starfighter stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
So, but
on the Starfighter front, we were looking for something to do as a family the other night and decided to watch The Gray Man with
yeah. I watched that.
That got me jazzed for Starfighter.
He's a good action guy.
Yeah, exactly. I hadn't seen it before, and I'm like, this is a fun movie, and he's going to be in Star Wars, and that's really cool.
Yeah. No, that's a fun movie. He's a good action hero. He's good comedic. I mean, the guy's he's the whole package.
Yeah.
And he's going to be
I can't say that I've watched a lot of his stuff. And I was not familiar with how jacked he is.
Oh yeah.
Like he just seems like a regular, he just seems like a pretty normal dude, but he takes off his shirt. Oh my God.
Well, there you go, man.
Jealous.
Yeah, of course. No, that guy's awesome. All kinds of range. Yeah, I mean, I was excited because, it's always been that thing. I don't want to get too much into it. We'll start with Skeleton Crew, but we talked about before, like Star Wars is always like the unknown actors and things like that.
Yeah.
Would it take you out? But I think if you're going to go with someone big, I think he has the star power and the charisma and just and I mean we witnessed that at Celebration in Japan. He just, I mean, I don't know. He gets it. I think he understands. I mean, he does come from kind of like a poor upbringing. Like he talks about his growing up in Canada. I don't think super wealthy or whatever. Has some pretty funny stories I've heard, like on Graham Norton and all that. And so I think one of those guys who he's done successful, but he hasn't really forgotten where he's from. So, and I think a lot of times too, like if you watch a lot of actors, they are just who they are in movies. Most of them don't have a lot of range. I mean, there are very few that can do
Ryan Reynolds comes to mind.
Well, Ryan Reynolds is the worst because he plays one character and they either put him in a red suit or they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I laugh and I like it and it's funny, but he doesn't have, but Gosling, just being himself, I think he'll be a good hero.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
But yeah. So Mike, I think we didn't get started because of what show did we get started? Skeleton Crew? Is that why we started doing this?
Yeah, I think so.
A year?
Yeah, I mean, we started. Well, we've going longer than that. We kind of started around. What was it? What came before Skeleton Crew? We started for Acolyte.
Oh, we did?
I think, or did I? I can't remember now.
I
can't remember if
YouTube and see.
I know I jumped on. I did some Acolyte reviews with you a few times, and I think it was after Acolyte that we started this show. getting ready for Skeleton Crew. Yeah, I think you're right.
Let me look it up here real quick. YouTube Studio. Go to content live. Oh, we have 120 live episodes. So
wow. Well, not all of them are Jedi and the Mailman.
I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
So here's the end. So Acolyte. I think you came on for the Acolyte. I've seen all kinds of different people on.
Maybe yeah, I think I was on for maybe the last 2, 3, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. And then
I got the itch. I got the bug, man.
Skeleton Crew updates. You were on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that looks like August 2nd, 2024, which is just a few months outside of Skeleton Crew. Like they announced Skeleton Crew. I think we did that. And then, yeah, because the first one where I see like it's called Jedi and the Mailman is August 6th, 2024. So cool.
Yeah.
So awesome. Yeah. So Skeleton Crew kind of brought us, I mean, getting ready for it. Skeleton Crew has had a up and down history. If you recall, it was first announced May 17th, 2022 in Vanity Fair. They talked about the Star Wars movie in development. And then, of course, we got some stuff at Celebration. The first trailer was launched August 10th, 2024. So that was like 4 days after we started our first Jedi and the Mailman. And then it was announced that it was going to be released on May 22nd, 2022. It was like they were going to release it. Then it got pushed. I'm sorry, it was going to be released in 2023, but then it got pushed to 2024 because of the writer strikes. And then it aired December 2nd, today, which is crazy that
last year.
Yeah. And it was actually supposed to release tomorrow, December 3rd, and I can't remember exactly when. On November 27th that year, the series release date was moved earlier to December 2nd. I don't remember why. I don't remember.
I can't remember now either.
Something to do with the Marvel show, maybe, or something that was on Wednesdays, but
maybe.
So
I know, like, I do remember we were all freaking out about the release schedule for it because as you looked ahead, it was going to release on, I think it was Christmas Eve and then New Year's Eve. And, you know, we like to get on right after the show airs and talk about it while it's fresh in our minds and stuff like that. I think that's what we do different than some of the other review shows. Is that's kind of our niche. Like jump on right after it's done and get fresh takes on it. Yeah, no time to stew. Yeah, it's fun, but
time to be influenced by anybody or anything, and
nope.
Just kind of give our honest feelings. Jedi says, "I love it. I so much the fat weight of it. I can't believe how quick it's come around. Yeah, it's been a quick year. It's hard for me to imagine that it's been a year. You know, like I mean, we've interviewed Ravi, we interviewed Wim, and we interviewed KB or Kiriana within this year, and those two are amazing. Marty, Bane the pirate. Has been we've done all right.
Yeah.
For Skeleton Crew.
Yeah. Bane the Pirate even gave me a little birthday shout out.
Nice. Oh, that's right. That's right. I got him to say happy birthday too. That's pretty awesome.
You guys are trying to get me to jump on, but I was at a Penguins game and
that's right.
Yep. But I still got the shout out and appreciated it.
We got like Jedi Jarvo was saying, we got the 2-episode drop. Mike, do you remember that Major Tom soundtrack? Like they did they redid Major Tom and Huttese. People were like really mad about it, but I thought it was phenomenal. Like
me too.
Loved it. I was like, but some people were like really like, oh, this is not Star Wars and blah blah blah. And
a lot of people have some really bad opinions on things sometimes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that was kind of crazy. And looking here now, accolades for it. On November 18th, 2025, the series was nominated for 17 Emmy Awards. That's nuts. I think we covered that in the news a little bit. I know Charlie did some stuff with it. Outstanding Young Teen Series, Outstanding Lead Performer in a Preschool. Wait, what? In a preschool? children's or young teen program, outstanding young performer in a preschool, children's, or young teen program, and outstanding writing for a young teen series. This could be a real adventure. Yeah, do you remember like how you felt after the first two? Like I haven't had time. I thought about it this weekend, and then I kind of ran out of time. I wanted to rewatch it, and I actually told my wife, I was like, I want to rewatch it over Christmas. I think since there's nothing coming out, like I might just sit down and just binge through it on one of those days.
You're not stoked for
no. I'll
you're
tell you.
not.
I'll update you.
You're not set aside time for Stranger Things. Are you a Stranger Things guy?
I watched the first season. Becky, my sister, and I came in to come home to Pennsylvania, and I stayed with her for a couple of days. We sat down because she was off work, and we watched the entire first season in one day.
Yeah.
We were just captivated by it. But then I really liked it. But then like season 2 came out like 2 years later or something, or 3 years later, and I didn't have her, and I kind of was like, eh.
Yeah.
I never watched it. Like I was just like, nah, I'm good.
I haven't watched any of it, but I know it broke the internet when it came out recently. And I know my kids have all seen it, and I know I guess the next 4 episodes are coming out, and then there's a Christmas Day, something's coming out with
a
it
New
or
Year's
whatever.
Day one too. They have some spin-off show that's coming out.
Yeah.
They released a couple.
Broadway play now. Craziness. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, I might get around to it. I don't know. Once it's all finished, then maybe, because then I don't have to wait. Kind of like, just wait till it's all out and then just kind of binge through it.
Yeah. But yeah, like I'd love to get back to a Skeleton Crew rewatch. Like, I've said it before, I have a hard time making time to rewatch shows and stuff like that. But I really, really, really enjoyed that show. I mean, I can still remember that, like you're alluding to earlier, the first 2 episodes, getting on and chatting about it. Just that opening scene with the pirate ships,
That was sick.
Yeah. And just the nostalgia of, the kind of their, life on their planet kind of harkened back to our childhood with, playing in the woods and riding bikes and stuff like that. It just is a really touching show. Really, really connected with me.
Yeah. No, that's kind of what I was going to ask you, but yeah, I just remember those first 2 episodes. I was like, just watching it, and I think we said multiple times over the 8 episodes, it's like those kids were like living out our fantasies, like, and to do the things that we pretended to do, and the whole show was geared towards Amblin and Goonies, and I mean, I thought it delivered. What a fun show. I mean, was it predictable in some places? Yeah, a couple spots here and there, but I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought they did a pretty good job overall keeping. And we still don't really understand Jod Nawood. Like, we don't know what his deal is. We don't really know. Like, we know the planet's been, and then all those planets have been like separated, but we don't know how it's going to go. Man, there were some really good. Just trying to think of everything that went through there. Just, I remember Kim, that like the owl,
the owl,
like Archimedes type.
Yep.
I mean, just, man, what a fun show.
Yeah, it really was. And I mean, it delivered on so many levels too. Like, I remember they had the first 4 episodes came out in December, right? I think, and then it wasn't until January or whatever that the back 4 came. But
yeah, it was something. I'll look it up real quick while you're chatting.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, that oh man, just so much good about that show. Smee, SM33, just the way he was played, perfect actor choice there. Like you said, Jod, just a phenomenal choice for actor. And I mean, he carried that show, and let the kids shine. But he's like that steady presence that just kind of carried the show through, but let the kids all shine. The kids all had their moments. And you got the iconic, Neil in the bathtub scene, and
oh yeah, Neil tub time.
She got, you got some X-wings and the what was the name of the ship? The
Onyx
Onyx Cinder. Oh,
Yeah.
what a cool ship! And then when the garbage all fell off of it and it completely changed its look, and just oh man, just so much good about that show.
I remember how pumped you were for the scene where they're being chased when they're on the Onyx Cinder,
Mm.
and they get to go and shoot
Oh
the
yeah, the
balloon. I
gun.
just remember you being like
Hmm.
so like just
Yes.
dialed in on that. Like it just kind of hit you in the feels.
Hmm.
And I thought it was pretty awesome because I can
Yep.
remember that.
Wim's eyes, just the way they lit up when he pulled down that thing and told him you're getting in the gun turret. Just
Yeah,
oh.
yeah, it was pretty
It's so
awesome.
awesome.
So, I mean, yeah, man, there was just some great. What did she say to him? Thanks, Jedi.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
we kind of find out, like, I think we may have been the first group, the first podcast that she
Hmm.
told that story to,
Yep.
where the Thanks Jedi was a ad lib by
Lived.
her, freestyled
Hmm.
that, and Bryce Dallas loved it so much that they put it in.
Yeah.
And I was like, all
That
right.
that was so perfect too.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
Just the perfect button on that scene. And
so
just like the way the kids played it too, once again, the actor that plays Wim, just
Ravi.
the little smile, yeah, Ravi, the little smile after she says that to him, and just I don't know, they handled some really big scenes. They did some really great work, and yeah, it's just phenomenal.
Yeah. All right, that's the one thing. One of the things I loved about the show, connecting the Goonies, ET. Love
Mhm.
Neil, my boy Neil, Neil Nation. So six is so beautiful. Yeah,
Mm.
that's a good one. And I have to admit, like, I thought it was a little cheesy because like, oh, here we go, we're separating them. They're gonna go with the opposite person. Like, kind of have to do that in a show.
Mhm.
And but then it turned out so like sweet and just
Yeah.
and all of them, like all those kids and had that. And his kids were just man, like they were impressive
Yeah.
the acting. And that's remember one thing too was leading up to it. We talked about like don't talk bad about these kids.
Mhm.
And it was funny. It was I was listening to the Force Center podcast, and they were talking about it, and they actually brought up this was a couple weeks ago. I'm kind of behind on them, and how they always forget about the Skeleton Crew because it's like one of their favorites, but how it kind of flew under the radar and no one like really
Mhm.
attacked it.
Yep.
It was just that and then we kind of got in that whole conversation too, where it's like, well, is it better for a show not to be attacked? Because then like it felt like nobody was talking about this show. But then I mean, for most people, especially people our age, I loved it. And then like
Mhm.
Hank, he's like, yeah, I only watched the first episode, then I turned it off. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, really.
But he's in that stage where everything sucks.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
but
We've all been there. But yeah,
some YouTubers are stuck in that.
yeah, that's for sure.
So,
I I've come to I don't know, I've been batting this back and forth in my head. And I know when they first talked about this show, it was going to be a movie, correct?
it is
And
hard for me to remember. I think show was what it was supposed to be, but it could have easily have been put out
yeah,
there because I mean we get so much information thrown at us on a weekly
yeah,
basis that it's hard to
right.
remember what
And
was what.
I mean, it's my recollection. It could, like I said, could totally be wrong, but I thought it was supposed to be a movie, and then it got changed to a show. I've been thinking about it lately. If it would have done better as a movie, I mean, I really enjoyed the show, and I love that we had 8 episodes rather than just 90
Well,
minutes of a movie.
yeah.
But to me, this show really needed to be pushed more. And I don't know if it's because it's on Disney Plus and not everybody has Disney Plus. If, Disney just didn't get behind it enough to really, get it out there in front of as many eyeballs as possible, didn't put a big push to get it out there. But I mean, I really feel, and I could be completely wrong, but I really feel that this is a hidden gem that if more people would see it, if had the opportunity or just somehow
I
listened and
think
realized, I got to take a look at this show. I really think it should have been more successful than it was.
I tend to think that it suffered because of the acolyte.
Yeah.
The Acolyte came out June 4th, 2024, and then this comes out 6 months later or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we didn't even get to the first episode of The Acolyte, and that thing was being firebombed. I mean, people were blowing up that movie called The Acolyte, thinking that it was a show because disgusting behavior. I get if you don't like something, like even we talked about Leslie Headland not too long ago, but she's like, yeah, like if you don't like it, legitimately don't like it, that's fine. Like you don't have to, but these people blowing it up before it even came out. I think Disney was gun shy and worried about spending money pushing this show, not knowing how it was going to do. I mean, Jack was convinced we were never getting it, and then he ended up loving it. And I mean, I can kind of see why he thought that sometimes, because of the delays and things. And but the show, I think, and it's kind of like Solo suffered because of The Last Jedi. The Skeleton Crew suffers because of The Acolyte, and it's funny because they're both like these beautiful, like you said, hidden gems. Most of the Star Wars people, some people hadn't even heard of it before. I was talking to someone like, "Oh, what's the Skeleton Crew?" I'm like, "Oh, dude, like, yeah, like you need to watch that with your kids. Like, if you watch Star Wars with your kids," and he's like, "Yeah," I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like you need to get on that, man. Like that's a family sit down show like that." This show is probably the most sit down and watch with your kids show than anything, even more than Ahsoka or Kenobi or The Mandalorian. Like this show, like, I mean, this was a family affair.
And you don't need to have any prior knowledge or anything. It doesn't connect with anything. It's standalone. Yeah. It has the Star Wars feel. It's Star Wars, but I mean, there's Easter eggs and whatnot that kind of connect it and put you know what time frame it's in and whatnot, but you don't need to know any of that stuff to enjoy it. Like you can just sit down and watch it. To me, it's the perfect portal for those kids that are 7, 8 years old right now to watch to get you in. You know what I mean? And then go watch that, love it, and go see Mandalorian and Grogu in May, and then get all jazzed for Starfighter the next May.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, I'm not sure when I'm gonna get that video out. Hectic, but we got everything we know for 2026 so far. Some best guesstimations of when things are going to come out, but we got a short video coming out about that. But yeah, Skeleton Crew, I think we're Molly and I were talking about, like, we just finished up a show we were watching, like, oh, we need a new show, and I'm like, well, she actually suggested The Mandalorian, which made me love her even more. And then I was like, well, what about like Skeleton Crew or something? She's like, oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. Like it's just a fun show. Like everything Star Wars is supposed to be, kind of wrapped up into it. Kids adventure. I mean, and I argue a lot that Star Wars really wasn't for kids, like The New Hope and all that. It's not really. This Skeleton Crew show was 100%, and it was for dudes our age who were kids then, loving it. So I mean, it covered the whole spectrum of people.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's. I mean, where was I going with this? I completely forget what I was talking about.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, just overall, just a wonderful show. More people should watch it. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Can we get a season 2 of this? Is there room in the Star Wars universe for season 2?
For sure. For sure. The only thing is those kids. Like we just talked about Stranger Things. Like those kids are freaking adults now. Like they started out as tiny little tots, and now they're freaking adults. One of them, maybe more than one of them, is married and has children and stuff. So like life is gone. And I'm not invested in that show. I don't know that much about it, but maybe they've made it work. But with this show, you're running into that same sort of thing where already these kids are 4 or 5 years older than they were when they filmed this.
Well, with the delays and stuff, and then like you said, like we interviewed Ravi, who plays Wim, and it was funny because like for the thumbnails and things like that, I was going back to look at some photos, of the show, and I'm like, that's Ravi. Like he looks like a baby. And then we interview him. He's like, he's like a teenager almost.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty close to being a teenager, or I mean, probably is a young in his early teens, but I mean, he just looks like he's becoming a little man, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's crazy how fast they grow. And then the girl who plays Fern, Ryan something, I can never think of her last name. I mean, she's gonna be the new Buffy the Vampire. Like she's the main character in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer stuff that's coming out, which that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
but the one thing that Skeleton Crew has going for it, if they could get to a season 2, is it's not locked necessarily in any specific time.
well,
you could go forward, and
yeah.
it's not gonna bump into anything. You could have these kids in their late teens as a crew on the Onyx, on some sort of adventure. Like there's plenty of different ways you could take the thing. You're not locked into anything necessarily. You don't have to have the kids as young as they are now, because obviously they're not anymore.
A big ass bug crawling down my wall, and it's freaking me out a little bit. Yeah, reading Google AI says that Star Wars Skeleton Crew takes place in the year 9 ABY, after the Battle of Yavin, which is 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. This places it during the New Republic era, period after the fall of the Galactic Empire, when the New Republic was still in its early stages of formation. It occurs concurrently with shows like The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. And I think like Ahsoka and stuff like that too, right? Is that one?
Yeah. Yeah, because we recently found out that was it Book of Boba Fett is going to connect with Ahsoka in some way. That's why Zeb's in it.
Yeah, so somehow in the Mandalorian and Grogu, the stuff Zeb's going to kind of explain to us what's happening with Ahsoka. So that kind of leads us to the fact that Ahsoka is probably coming out like November of 2026, because it's going to come out afterwards, obviously. But yeah, so these kids could show up in any of these shows, and it would make sense. I mean, because Vane's there, Vane was that connecting thread between the Mandalorian, because you had the pirates in season 3. Was that season? Yeah, season 3, the pirates, because Vane was all them. And then, he was supposed to be that connecting piece that shows like this is happening simultaneously with Mando seasons, 2, 3, whatever. Those kids could easily show up. Mando could come rolling into oh gosh, what was the name of all I can remember is I don't remember and can't think of what their planet was called. But yeah, I'd love to see these kids.
Yeah.
Or some kind of like they're all kind of in pencil pushing jobs, and they're just like, yeah, we can't do this, and they go take off on it. Or Jod shows up, or I mean, I'm kind of curious. I mean, got his whole backstory.
Yeah.
But we never found out. I know we had things kind of be told, like his mom was going to be a Jedi, or something surrounding him. There was a Jedi surrounding him, a mother or master. We never knew. And so we have that whole thing. He just disappears at the end of the show, so he's still out there running amok. So yeah, I mean, there's tons of potential for this.
Yeah, it'd be great to get more with the kids, but it'd also be great if we just get more Jod. So there's plenty of avenues to explore. I mean,
that'd be nuts.
Yeah.
Do you think they do that though, just to Jod, like just to show surrounding him and not bring the kids back? I mean, those kids are getting busy. I don't know what kind of contracts they signed. I don't know any of that information off the top of my head, but usually they get locked down for a few.
I guess it would depend on, like you said, the contract situation, or what the kids are available, or do the kids even fit into the next story you want to tell? I mean, in no way do I want to exclude the kids. Those kids did amazing.
Yeah.
Like they all had their specific moments to shine, and they did it gloriously. But you got someone like, Jod, why would you not want to bring that character back?
I agree. You get an actor of that caliber, you want to see. And I thought he did an awesome job. He had had the right personality, and we also had Dawn on the show afterwards, and she played Neil's mom.
Mm-hmm.
She's a character actor. She played Neil's mom. She played a couple other pirates and stuff like that. And she just talked about like how loving like the whole set was, and just what a fun feel it was because of the kids. And
yeah,
so I'm here for it. If they decide they want to do it, I hope they can. I hope they have a good story. I don't want it to come back just because. I want them to come back because they have the right story to tell us, and it fits into, be kind of cool just to see them show up and like, I mean, I don't think they're going to show up and see. I remember I had this weird theory that they're going to like get blasted to Peridia or something and be the way they get home, and I'm glad I was wrong, but who knows what could happen if it's all running concurrently with each other.
Yeah.
Easily end up somewhere and there's the kids or something like that.
Yep.
Oh, we'll help you,
Yep. So many avenues to explore.
So, but yeah, I don't know what else there is really to say about it. Great show.
It's great.
If you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor and watch it. If you have watched it, do yourself a favor and rewatch it. So, yeah. And then we have one more story we want to talk about. And I think, let me see if bring that up. I'm going to close this. Where's this? Oh, this is Wikipedia. Some stuff with Starfighter. We got, we get a little bit of news to come out over the last week or so. A couple things. And you sent me the one today saying that Return of the Jedi is inspiring the Star Wars. And this was like a real dinky, like barely
thing. Can't really even call it an article. It's just maybe an excerpt from a conversation, but
so I'm trying to decide, like, some of this is weird.
Yeah, more or less they were just asking him, what movie is Starfighter most like, in the vein of which movie is Starfighter, and I think his response was it's most like Return of the Jedi, which I think both of us are pretty excited for because I think we both quite enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was our first Star Wars on the big screen for us, and I know he's talked about trying to. He says, I will tell you, there's moments where I'm on set and I feel like the kid is with me in that director's chair, like I'm making his dream come true. He says it's Jedi because a combination of theme, levity, adventure, heart, spectacle. Somehow that movie just got it right for me. So he talks about like, oh, I should, I know I'm supposed to say Empire and blah blah blah, but I don't want a show like Empire, like a one-off. Empire was good where it was because it was in the middle of a series. But if you're going to give me a one-off movie, I want it to be spectacular. I want it to have the heart of Return of the Jedi,
Yeah.
So that kind of, I mean, everything that keeps coming out about this keeps getting me excited because I don't know if people are trying to upset us and be like, oh, look at how bad it's going to be. But
well, yeah, I mean, if there are a certain segment of people, I think people that are, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 years older than us that are Star Wars fans that just hate Return of the Jedi. Yeah, they weren't into the Ewoks or, whatever the case may be. But that movie just hit perfect for us. We were just the right age. And I don't know, I'd never had a problem with the Ewoks. I love the Ewoks. How about you?
I know that people older than us don't like the Ewoks, but I don't remember my dad ever complaining about them. Like, I think my dad enjoyed that movie quite a bit.
Yeah.
He would have been probably 20s or 30s when he took us to see Return of the Jedi, and I just remember him laughing with the Gamorrean guard getting chewed up celery. But yeah, I don't ever remember him complaining about the Ewoks. I've had no problems. I wouldn't mind a new Ewoks adventure.
Heck yeah.
I wouldn't mind like an up-to-date, not kind of psychotic, bad acting, just Caravan of Garbage or Caravan of Courage or whatever it's called. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see some new stuff. I think that would be a kind of like a low key way you could do a little adventure.
Yeah, yeah.
Make it make a little bit more sense. You know, it was the '80s, so you didn't really have to try too hard. We didn't know enough back then, but now we know more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I mean, yeah, the critics of the Return of the Jedi, they talk about like the plan didn't make any sense. Well, no, the plan didn't make any sense to get Han back, but it all worked out.
Yep,
That's
exactly.
what Star Wars is all about. Just
Mm-hmm.
it
Had
works
lots
out.
of action and adventure and good times.
Yeah,
It's a
Sarlacc
nice,
pits,
yeah.
you know, all the good
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Right.
So yeah,
You
but I'm
know,
excited for that.
a simple plan to rescue someone is no fun. A convoluted, way too many steps that make no freaking sense. That is how you rescue someone.
Yeah, I mean, why do it any other way?
Translates best to the screen.
Yeah, so why do it any other way, right?
Yeah. I mean,
So
everybody loved James Bond because the villains would spend way too long explaining their master plan and then Bond would, break out and save the day. And, it has to be convoluted. It has to be ridiculous.
absolutely, totally agree. Another big thing that came out a few days ago was the composer.
Hmm.
So Star Wars Starfighter director recently revealed that 15-time Oscar nominee Thomas Newman will score the upcoming installment, which is set to premiere in theaters May 28th, 2027 in the United States. Deadline has reached out to Lucasfilm. Says, I know, bro. I don't know if that's public, so now it is. Yeah, I think we're breaking news here. He enthusiastic said on the On Film with Kevin McCarthy podcast. You don't understand. If you want me to name my favorite scores, 5 of the top 10 are Tom Newman, Shawshank, Road to Perdition, Nemo, and American Beauty. So
Hmm.
that's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. With this, I expected to see some grumbling and griping that it's not John Williams, but John Williams he's an old man. He deserves
Yeah,
his time.
I mean,
I'm sure he could still, he's still perfectly capable, I, but what I'm getting to is I haven't heard those complaints. You know what I mean? Like, I think maybe it's just because not that many people care who's scoring the movie,
you
but the
know,
people that do care get it and understand that yeah, this guy has some serious accolades, some serious stuff on his resume. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
his resume
It's
is nice. I mean,
hmm
15-time nominee. I don't know how many times, if any, he's won, but he's got some pretty impressive movies that he's
yeah.
put together. And I do think music in Star Wars is important. I remember
Hmm.
not really being moved very much by like Acolyte or, unfortunately, Skeleton Crew. I didn't think. I mean, the music. I don't know. Some keys, and then sometimes they played like the Force theme and stuff like that in there. And I think Leslie Headland used music to kind of like hint to things. But Levy continued. Is it Shawn Levy or is it Levy? I say it wrong all the time. I
I
think
think it's Levy, but
Levy.
I
There should
think
be
I don't
another
know.
E in there then. Levy.
I don't
I'll
disagree.
I'll I'll talk to him.
Okay,
I'll be like,
somebody's
"Yo,
gotta.
Sean." I'm like, "What up, Sean? Let's talk about your last name, bud." I was thinking. He says, I was thinking about this movie and what I need the music to be because it wants to be sort of classically inspired, but no, it's not going to be remixes of Williams cues. It may be inspired by some of that, but I knew that I needed a big-hearted movie score from a composer who, like John Williams, doesn't shy away from themes. So it's going to have themes. So these characters
Mhm.
are going to have their own themes. I wonder. I need to talk to our buddy Mark and see what he thinks about this guy. Mark's like
Yeah.
our music guy, Mark Rolfe, who does all the music for us. Um, and wonder see where he stands with this guy. I'm sure it's
Mhm.
probably positive, but um, I had a thought and I just lost it.
That happens when you get to this age.
My gosh, man. So do you think, it says it may be inspired by John Williams, so we're not getting the
Well, I especially the casual fan isn't going to notice any difference. I don't think.
no.
Like I think it's going to be very reminiscent of the normal Star Wars music. It's by someone who's obviously extremely competent, more than competent. A consummate pro. It's going to fit in. It's going to be right. It's going to be. Nobody's going to have any complaints.
No, I don't think so. But that does. I do have a question. I'm writing down your answer.
Okay.
Because I was thinking about John Williams' music. I was thinking about Star Wars. I was thinking about opening crawls. Does Starfighter give us the first, like, you know how like we've had Star Wars movies, spin-offs that haven't really had crawl. Like there wasn't one in Rogue One. They had some information. They had little bits of information in Solo, and I think even Rogue One had something. I don't think Acolyte had anything. I'm trying to think. Is this movie going to bring back the opening crawl in Star Wars?
I don't think so.
Nope. Mike says no.
No. I think that's not going to come back until the next trilogy, if we ever get to another trilogy. We don't know. I mean, this could be the start of a whole new generation for Star Wars. Maybe, maybe no more trilogies, maybe just standalone movies. And
as soon as it does well, you know that
they're going to want to make more.
They're going to want to make a trilogy. Oh, well, no, it ended. We'll make it. So did Pirates of the Caribbean, and 6 movies later.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I don't know if they want to tie themselves to the trilogy model. Even I think maybe if Starfighter does well, maybe they'll continue from there, but not in the vein of let's not tie our hands to that. We got to have a second and a third. Let's make a second and see if we can make a third and a fourth and a fifth until these people get tired of it.
Which, if you make good movies, we will not get tired. So there you go. Filmmaker Shawn Levy has revealed that his upcoming and currently shooting Star Wars Starfighter feature has undergone a major change during production. Set roughly 5 years after the events of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Ryan Gosling leads the film as a character who must protect a young boy. And that's changed. It was his nephew, and then they changed it. It has been rumored the boy was Force powers and will potentially end up at Jedi Temple, ultimately trained with Rey. We don't know anything about that. We have speculated on that. But Shawn Levy, the producer or the director of A Night at the Museum, Deadpool versus Wolverine, says, we had a whole different idea for something in the third act, and then things didn't align. And I was forced to come up with a new idea, and I'm literally right now shooting that section of the movie. And every day I'm grateful that the way I was supposed to do it didn't work out, because the new idea that it forced me to explore is so much better than the original idea that would have been. So, and I know some people want to be like, but I mean, that's cool, right? I mean, rewrites happen all the time, and and I'm sure this will have some reshoots later on, and people will say that the movie's not going to come out and it's going to suck because they got to reshoot stuff, even though we know that that's a part of making films and always has been. So, what are your thoughts on that?
It's just such an interesting tease. Like, we don't know anything. We have the vaguest outline of what this movie is going to be. We don't know what point A through point D is. You know what I mean? We don't know where it's starting. We don't know where it's going to end. But to get that little tidbit there, that I had an idea of how I was going to end this, and it didn't line up with what they wanted us to do. So we had to rewrite it, and he's super excited about it. Now, I know when I write things, I'm not always super excited when somebody tells me that sucks and you have to redo it. So for another writer to, get that note and be excited about it, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder too, though, because like there was an article came out last week. It all blurs together when you're old, but that Kathleen Kennedy is basically like, make whatever movie you want. So the fact that I think that he just probably didn't like the way it ended, and he's like, this doesn't make any sense. I want to change this, or maybe like it's so good that we don't want to kill off this person or kill off that person, or the possibility of more movies or something. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, he's honest about it, telling us about it. I mean, he's not shying away from it. So I don't think you would tell people that if you weren't happy with the new ending.
And it also gives you that little tease that this is going somewhere. This is going to connect with something else. Like the way that they phrased that, it's not just about they weren't happy with the way it ended or whatever, there was something that they want to connect it to. There's something that they want. So it speaks to the idea that there's a plan. There's something more coming, because after this movie, there's nothing. I mean, we know that they're working on the Dawn of the Jedi movie or whatever. They're working on a Rey movie. They're working on a trilogy. There's all these things, but nothing is anywhere near shooting as far as we know.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
unless they're doing it in complete secret.
mhm. So to get this little tease that, like I said, we don't know anything about the movie, but to know that it's going to maybe connect with something is super interesting, and yeah, it keeps us talking.
Yeah, for sure. I've been completely forgot to look over on Instagram. We had Star Wars _ said, "How's it going, gents? Good." This is probably a while ago, so I apologize for that. Hopefully, you're still listening to us. Let us know if anyone's over there on Instagram. And then Nick DePorto said, "I hope we get a season 2." I'm assuming he's talking about Skeleton Crew because.
I would assume.
So, I mean, I'm not the smartest guy, but I think that's what he's talking about. So, sorry about that, Instagrammers. And then, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I thought there was one more thing with this. So there's that.
I don't know. It's nice to get these little drips, little tidbits about Starfighter. Like I said, it's so far. It's still over a year away. It's a year and a half away. But to get these little, just little conversations with the director and little things coming out here and there and people talking, it's nice to you know just hear the excitement and keep it up, keep it in the front of our minds, and keep keep us excited for what is to come.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think this is going to be fun. Is it weird? I know we don't know more about it, but I feel like there's more hype surrounding this movie than there is Mando and Grogu, and we're getting Mando
Hmm.
and Grogu in a few months. I mean, it'll be
Yeah.
no time at all that we'll be doing
Yeah.
our, I'll be coming out of the theater on a Thursday night
Hmm.
discussing Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm pretty hyped for this movie. I mean,
Hmm.
and I think, I mean, because some of the stuff that you said, I think is spot on. Like this is the beginning of new Star Wars,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
that's huge
Hmm.
moving forward because, you know, Star Wars needs to change a little bit to get with the
Hmm.
times. I mean, I know they just can't keep doing the same thing over and over again because it's, they need to kind of adapt a little bit, like not get
Yeah.
away from a lot of things, but because I think they have such good stuff, but I sit there and I watch, like, my wife and I, we always rewatch Harry Potter's from Christmas to or from Halloween to Thanksgiving. We rewatch like every weekend, and over Thanksgiving we finish them up. And I'm like, those are really intense films, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
really good movies. And I want that feeling. I want, and I love going back and watching Star Wars films, but I don't feel that way. And like, I mean, all 8 of those movies of Harry Potter's are pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, I want
Hmm.
that. Like, I want a new generation of Star Wars, and I want kids to want to watch these. Like that, I want kids to be excited for Star Wars, and I
Yeah.
hope that the guy who was in Barbie is the guy that can bring them all in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
So,
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they're not, I said it earlier, they're not tied to a trilogy. They're not, I mean, there's talk that they're working on another trilogy or whatever, but
yeah, the
they're
Simon Kinberg
breaking tradition. It's always been about the trilogy, one trilogy, then the first trilogy, then the last trilogy. And then, they tried sticking movies in between, little off stories and stuff like that. That to me worked fine, but they abandoned that idea. Now we're here with this, and it's none of that. It's just another Star Wars movie.
yeah,
It's not, it's it it's breaking from their tradition. It's breaking out, like you said, just getting out of that rut of we have to do it this way. It's nope, we're just gonna put out a movie. We got some great actors, and we're gonna see how it goes. That bug's still flying around
yeah.
driving me
There's like
crazy.
a mark. I thought I was on my computer, but I think it might be on the ceiling.
Oh.
So that bug's gone. I don't know where it went, so that's scary.
Oh.
Uh-oh. But I don't feel it crawling on me later. I'm freaking out. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, there's lots of little bits, dribs and drabs coming out. I do think it'll probably go. I think once we get into the new year, things will kind of go silent on it, and all the focus is going to be on Mando and Grogu, and then I hope they start like really ramping that up. And I mean, I feel like we need another trailer soon.
I'm sure there'll be a Super Bowl trailer, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, but that's not till February.
I know, but that's, I mean, when you're this age, that's not far away.
Oh man, it's true. That's true.
We'll be over 50 by that time, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yikes. So, but yeah, I don't know. Any other thoughts?
Nah, it's just good to be on here talking Star Wars, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So, but I think we wanted to save that next article for next week.
Probably. Oh, yeah. I think it can drive a whole show.
All right, cool. All
right, I'm sure. I mean, next week or the week after, we're probably going to be talking some Force Awakens, I would think, wouldn't you?
I hope so.
It's getting right about that 10-year
I haven't heard
anniversary.
anything about it being released. I do know that I just
saw crazy, isn't it?
Which I just saw on when I was on these episodes websites looking up these articles that Avatar comes out on the 19th. That would be December 18th. It's going to drop, which would be exactly when The Force Awakens dropped. So I don't know.
Are you excited to go see Avatar?
I mean, I like those movies.
I never saw part 2. I loved the first one. Like, it got me so excited. If they'd had the second one come out like within 2 years of it, I definitely would be on board. But
over 10 wasn't
life happened. 10 years of life happened, and I never got to see the second part.
Yeah, second one was, I mean, it was long.
Yeah.
And I remember when I went to the theater. Now that's the thing too, is like there's certain movies that like kind of like change cinema. And
I saw that in IMAX 3D.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw it 4 times in the theater because I was just so,
I saw it multiple times myself.
Blown away by what it was. Like I just, I mean, I imagine that's how Star Wars fans felt when they first saw Star Wars. But even, I mean, more so because there wasn't any sci-fi stuff. But like the first Avatar was nuts. If you saw it in 3D, revolutionary, like the Hallelujah Mountains and stuff like that, just, I mean, it's a movie I showed my world history kids when it came to imperialism. I mean, it's more about Native Americans versus, you know, the U.S. But I always showed it, and I always just get like, woof, like, what a good movie.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, honestly, it's not really all that well written. It's pretty basic, but like you said, the revolutionary filmmaking, seeing that this was about the time Blu-ray was coming out too. So you saw it in the theaters as in IMAX 3D, and you're just blown away. And then Blu-ray's coming out, and you go home, you buy it on Blu-ray, and you watch it at home on Blu-ray. You're like, wow, my TV is so much better now. It blows you away. But then they took 10 years.
I think it was even more than that.
A Marine learning how to shoot the next one, and
and then it's going to be one comes out every 2 or 3 years now because there's supposed to be 5 total. Supposedly number 4 is insane. It made his wife cry when she read the script. So I was like, all right,
cool. One of these days
was worth a watch. I have never rewatched it. I've thought about it. Christmas break for us starts on the 19th, so maybe it's one of those things where I throw it in, I rewatch it, and then sometime in the afternoon I go see the second one or the third one. Just because, you know, I don't know, but I'll go see it. I would have taken the swim team. I know that's the movie they're going to see, which we started that tradition in 2014.
It's nice to know it's still going on
with the Force Awakens. Started the tradition, and then again, I know I told this before, but it makes my heart feel good that the kids I took to see that movie are now taking the team to see that movie, and who knows, it could be one of those kids that they're taking and they're coaching and they're you know, teaching how to be a better young man. Could be the next coach, you know, and it's pretty cool.
Sure.
Unlike Mike Tomlin, I have a coaching tree. One I'm pretty proud of too. So
good on you, man. Good on you.
So I'm not afraid to be challenged by my assistants, and I actually asked for it. You know what I mean? Like I asked them to push against me.
Well,
ideas.
You wanted to get out from under it rather than just steal a paycheck for the rest of your life. So
yeah, so my goodness. But all right, man. Well, hey, that was a good talk. That was fun.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure how it was going to go. But yeah, folks, go check out Skeleton Crew. Hop on. You can find any of those articles we talked about. If you just type in Starfighter news, they all pop up in one spot. You can check it all out. I'm excited for all of it.
Yeah.
Definitely
Get yourself a universal remote and go around the neighborhood and just put it on everybody's TV.
What are you guys watching? Click. Yeah, I wish it would have gotten more hype because it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And I just think stuff gets lost now because there's too much.
There's too much, way too much. I agree. Yep.
All right, man. Well, hey, folks, till next week. We'll see you then.
See ya.